Well, hello everyone. Thank you again so much for joining me today. It's very nice to meet you if I have not already met you in some way, shape, or form. My name is Ryan, and we've got, as the description in the title foretold, a pretty massive, for me anyways, sale haul, collection update sort of thing. Today we are joined by Prince Robot the Fourth from the Image comic series Saga. And I'm not going to put him in his rightful place just yet, right up over there, because he is going to make another quick appearance because he is actually part of this haul. So a few things, it's actually a combination of a few different, really there's just one sale, but it's a few different purchases that are put together. The main massive haul that I have comes from my local Second and Charles. It's not another mystery box, but I thought about it, but I ended up not going that route. I have a fair amount of credits. Everything that I got here from Second and Charles, I paid absolutely no money for, which is awesome for me. Company-wide, they are doing an inventory reduction sale. So the way that they're doing it, or at least in my particular location, they're having these tables that are set up at the front, and they have bins that go $2 to $3 seem to kind of be the range. And the bins are categorized from everything from toys, DVDs, Blu-rays, pops. So we're gonna save that big stack for the end of the video because all good things come to those who wait. We're gonna start with the smaller stack first. That this is more of a combination of a lot of different things. We're just gonna take them right off the top. The very first one, I've already done a small short video for a sort of unpacking, looking at the packaging of it and kind of briefly talking about it. But that would be The Good Place, the complete series on Blu-ray put out by Shout Factory. I'm not going to spend any time on it because there is a video that I've done talking about this. And as I said in the video, how I could not wait to kind of get back into it. We already kind of dipped our toes back into the series, and it is just as fantastic as we remembered. So happy to have this and to have it back into our lives and being able to revisit it again and then eventually complete it because we had not finished the series. So very happy to have that one. The next one was I did a purchase from Walmart.com because they did not have this in stock, and there was two other things that I was looking for that they did not have in stock that I'll talk about in a future video once they come in. But they sort of split the order, which I'm fine with, and I got one of the most talked about movies right now, and that would be Sonic the Hedgehog. This is the 4K release. Very excited about this movie. I was really interested in watching it. Post-character design controversy, that was a wild ride, kind of going through that. It was a wild ride seeing that first character design in the trailer. James Marsden, take him or leave him with that. Obviously, even when we had the poor character design of Sonic originally, the big thing for me was to see Jim Carrey portraying Dr. Robotnik, portraying Egghead. And from everything that I've heard is that it is very much kind of harkening back to the classic Jim Carrey because that's what it seemed like he was doing in the trailer. So I'm happy that that is becoming the case. And very excited to check out Sonic on 4K, and this is the 4K version that has the comic book on here as well. I haven't read through the comic book before just because I don't know if there might be any light spoilers for the movie. You never know. But right off, I mean, it is fantastic though how it is done in the style of the original Sega video game. So very cool, very cool. Happy to have it, happy to dive into it real soon. We'll do a feature presentation on this with my thoughts as soon as I have watched it. The next one originally, well, in a way it comes from Dollar Tree, but this was one that was featured on the recent Dollar Tree sale, the Dollar Tree movie sale, and all of the Dollar Trees in my area did not grace me with this this collection's presence, or maybe somebody had picked it up prior to me going there. So I was watching Cinema Sickness's videos, and he had picked it up and said that he was going to pick it up for the store. And when I went and checked, thankfully it was still there, so I was able to purchase it from Dave. And I'm so happy to have this because I've only seen the first movie, and it was a very long time ago. But this would be the complete Magnificent Seven collection. Super excited to go into this one because I've only seen the first one, the original Magnificent Seven, Steve McQueen, Yul Brynner, Charles Bronson. Is Lee Van Cleef in this one? No, I don't believe that he is. I thought that Lee Van Cleef was in the Magnificent Seven, but I'm obviously mistaken. But so you got all four of them on here: Magnificent Seven, Return of the Magnificent Seven, Guns of the Magnificent Seven, and the Magnificent Seven Ride, a 12-year span from 1960 to 1972. And what I liked about this one, which I didn't know this, because obviously when he had picked it up and I had seen it on the videos, it was still, you know, factory sealed. I was kind of expecting 2 movies per disc, but no, that is not the case at all. We have each movie has its own disc. So absolutely, so not gonna have these compression issues on here. Very, very happy to have that because I'm pretty sure that I don't believe that any of these, that like some of these sequels, I don't believe are available in any other way. So this is absolutely fantastic. I was so happy that I was able to purchase that from Cinema Sickness. Again, that is the Magnificent Seven collection. These next 2 come from Best Buy because every now and then Best Buy does these flash sales on primarily Disney steelbooks. I've said before that I'm not a big steelbook person. If I can come across them for a good price, then awesome, because yeah, they're cool, but I'm not going out of my way to purchase a steelbook because they're usually going to be an additional $5 to $7 depending. And I mean, yes, I mean, we're obviously a collector of some sense, but I mean, I care more about the movie. So a lot of times, you know, the steelbooks do not really, they just don't do it for me. But I got 2 in here, both of them for $7.99, and both of them I did not have. The first one that I was able to pick up is Cars. This is the 4K steelbook of Cars for $7.99. The only one that we actually have in the collection is the third one on Blu-ray, I believe. I've seen the first one, seen the third one. I don't know if I've seen the second one, but they're good. They're definitely not my favorite Disney Pixar films. My wife really enjoys the Cars series. We haven't really fully introduced them to the oldest yet, but I think she would get a kick out of them. But I do definitely like that. Very pretty on the inside. It's a very nice, very pretty steelbook. The second one, okay, this is a movie that I obviously do not have. I had not even seen any of them, which I made mention of in the mystery box unboxing video because I got a DVD copy of the very first one. Haven't watched it yet, but now I'm able to, and I can probably upgrade for a very cheap price if I do enjoy them, which I'm sure that I will. So for $7.99, I thought that it was, you know, I have the first one, so why not get an already high def version of the second film, especially for $7.99. And that would be the Avengers Age of Ultron. However, one of the things, this is the Blu-ray release, so it came to me, and I've been debating back and forth about this, but I'm deciding that I'm just gonna leave it as it is. If you've ever ordered from BestBuy.com before, unfortunately they do not have the best packaging. They usually just put things in those little, very kind of flimsy bubble mailer sleeves. So obviously, so you can sort of blame Best Buy, I suppose, but things will get dinged up in transit. And that is exactly what happened to me. I'm gonna try to get it to where you can see it. That looks like it's showing up pretty well, a little out of focus, but you can definitely see the biggest issue. We do have some denting and things like that. So is it irksome? Yes, it is. But the disc is still fine. It still closes. So it's irksome, but especially with the state of how everything is right now, I just don't really think that it is appropriate for me, you know, just as my opinion, I don't feel that it's fully appropriate for me to request a replacement, just to throw another order in there for the Postal Service to get bogged down with, and then ultimately have the exact same thing happen. Because should they be using something else to package with? Probably. You could definitely possibly argue that, but they're not going to if I request a replacement. So I just don't think that it's right of me to do that, especially when I only picked it up for $8. Had I purchased this for $20, $25, it might be a bit of a different story. You know, I would definitely probably request something at that point. But for $8, you know, am I a little bummed about it? Sure, but I'm not going to, with the times that we're in right now, I just don't really think that it is I just personally can't do it. I just don't feel that it's necessary for me to do so right now. So I'm just gonna live with what it is, especially since I got it for $8. Definitely, I think probably at least $10 cheaper than what it is going for right now at MSRP from Best Buy. So, but I've got it. This looks good, so I can check out the first two now, Avengers Age of Ultron. So now we're going into Second and Charles, but not the Second and Charles haul. This was actually a few days ago prior to the haul. I went into Second and Charles after everything had started to open back up, taking my own personal health precautions, taking all the measures in place that make me feel comfortable. Not everybody shares my same opinion, obviously, especially with where I live, but that's I can't make somebody do anything. So I take the precautions that I feel are necessary to me, and I go out into the world. And so this was just me kind of looking around, just kind of getting out of the house for a little bit. And I picked up 3 titles. Two of them I spent $3.95 on. They're 2 DVDs, and then there's a Blu-ray that I spent the most on that was $7. All blind buys for me. And the very first one that we got here is an MGM DVD copy of Roger Corman's A Bucket of Blood. This is 1959, and I'm not going to look right now because I know I'm wrong, but I'm going to say it's 1959. From what I understand, a very gore-drenched, dark comedy, slapsticky spoof of like House of Wax style spoof. And so I'm really, really interested to check this one out. So it's another, again, I'm not very versed in Roger Corman's films. I know a lot about his work, and I know all of the influence in his work, and I know some of his films, but his markings and his fingerprints are on so much more besides just his actual films alone. So I'm really trying to kind of expand that knowledge, inflate that knowledge that I can get. So really, really, really excited to check this one out. It was 1959. I don't know if I said 1958. I don't know, but it was 1959. Just over an hour. So really quick watch. Excited. That's going to be really cool. This next one is a triple feature. Works great for me. Put up by Alpha Video. Now, I know that Alpha Video doesn't always have the best quality with their transfers because from my understanding, a lot of their transfers do actually just come from tapes. But I did a little bit of research prior to getting this because when I was looking at these titles, I don't know of any of these titles that are available in any other format, because a lot of times Second and Charles, sometimes their pricing is bang on, and then there are other times where it's like absolutely not. And so when I'm looking at something that's a DVD copy from Second and Charles, this is not going to be a lot of times where it's a thrift store or a Goodwill where you're picking a DVD up for $1. It's not going to be like that. So I got to kind of do a little bit of research or just sort of evaluate it and sort of make the decision to see, is this a DVD title that is worth spending $4.95, $5.95 on when there's a very good chance that there is that there's a label or a distribution company that has a Blu-ray release that is going to go on sale at some point. I can probably pick it up for a really good price where it's not that much more than what I'm spending on the DVD. Obviously, if it was something for $1, then absolutely. But I was looking at these and I could not tell. I didn't think any of these were available in any other format. And I did a little bit of research afterwards, and it turns out, from what I can tell, I'm right. But this is a triple feature of horror classics. We have Bloody Pit of Horror, Horrors of Spider Island, and Nightmare Castle. The years on these being 1965, 1962, and 1965. I don't know about any of these movies. The one thing I know about Bloody Pit of Horror is that it's based off of the writings of the Marquis de Sade. So I'm hesitant, but very, very much interested to see what that one is going to be like. So the case is a little beat up, sure, whatever. $3.95. But it's got a ton of information on here, and they're all put together. So the quality's not going to be great on them to begin with, from what I understand. But they're all on one single disc, so we're definitely going to have some compression on there. But these all look like a lot of fun. I'm really, really interested to check these out. And from what I understand, this is the only way that we can get them. So of course, I'm not gonna judge. We know that here, if you've been watching my videos so far in the infancy of this channel, I do not discriminate against format in any way, shape, or form. I think sort of kind of made that point clear during the mystery box unboxing, like when I pulled out the Avengers on DVD. You know, of course I'm gonna watch it. I have it on DVD, but I'm not going to say, you know, no, I'll wait till I get a Blu-ray. No, I've got the movie, so I can watch it. And if I like it, I'll upgrade it, and then when I revisit it, it'll be a high-def experience. So, of course, it's not going to sway my opinion on what I think of the movie. The next one was a double feature. So part of why I've spent, why it was $7. This is a guy that there's so much that even I surprise myself that I am not versed in, do not have anything in my collection. And I have known about this man for a very long time, and his influence and his work. And I really don't think that I've seen any of them, it's embarrassing, especially because of the things that I like and the things that I really have a tendency, I mean, I like a lot of things, obviously, but sort of my, what I have a penchant for. But this is a blood-drenched double feature of two Herschel Gordon Lewis films, The Wizard of Gore and The Gore Girls. So The Wizard of Gore, I know a little bit more about. I know I've seen some clips and I've seen some screen grabs of it before. So I've got a little bit of knowledge on The Wizard of Gore, but not a whole lot to say that I'm, you know, that I'm not going in like still blind. So I will, but I know about Herschel Gordon Lewis, the godfather of gore. I am very much informed, but I'm not versed. And it is a little bit embarrassing when you especially think about the kind of stuff that I'm really gravitating towards. So definitely excited to check this out. Check both of these out, 1970 and 1972. This is put out by Something Weird. On the back, it's Image Entertainment, which is that like a subsidiary of Image Comics? I didn't know that they did anything with films or anything like that. I just wasn't aware. So super excited to check this one out. We'll definitely be doing a double feature on these. I like to do the triples, but I've got a double lined up for me right here, all by Herschel Gordon Lewis. So we should definitely just spend time with this. Definitely. So the next part is everything that I got yesterday during the Second Charles inventory reduction sale. The first part that I'm going into right here, this is not going to be from the $3 stack. This is some stuff that I spent full price or full Second Charles price. There's only one thing that I spent $10 on. Everything else is within the $4 to $7 range. And then everything after that is going to be the $3 picks that I picked up, because the Blu-rays were $3 and the Pops were $3. In the DVD wise, kind of harkening back to what I was saying about checking between, is it worth paying the $4 to $5 for this DVD when I could probably get it on sale for not that much more from another website, or from like another distribution company. Same thing with the DVDs. There wasn't anything that was, because there are no rare finds, not a lot of like cult style films, deep cuts. Wasn't going to be anything like that. So anything that I saw on the DVD, it was sort of along the lines of like, it's here for $2, but this is something that I could easily pick up for $5, you know, on Blu-ray factory sealed. So that's where you weigh the options with that one for me. The very first one that I have, very excited to pick this one up. I did not pick this one up on the first time that I went, they're all falling. The first time that I went to Second Charles for these films, and I saw it, and was kicking myself for not picking it up for $3.95, and I happened to come across it again. So very excited. This is these film is from one of the most popular episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000. I have that episode on DVD up above me on the Mystery Science Theater collection part. I kind of keep the Star Wars, Doctor Who, and MST3K all together. But this comes from Synapse, and it is a 2K restoration of one of the worst films of all time, and that would be Manos, The Hands of Fate. I'm so unbelievably excited to have this, to experience this in a 2K restoration, to experience this without the wonderful riffing from, this was a Joel era, I believe, from Joel and Crow and Servo and all that. So happy. If you have not seen this movie, I highly recommend that you check out the MST3K episode. I'm sure you can find it on, I know Amazon Prime Video has a lot of older MST episodes on there, so I'm sure that the Manos Hands of Fate is on there. It's essentially a family going in for, or trying to have a getaway, have a vacation gone wrong. And Gone Wrong is pretty much everything about this movie. Every mark that it tries to hit, it misses. And so there's this weird pagan cult sort of thing, and not everything makes a whole lot of sense. The characters aren't really fleshed out very well. They're not explained very well. A lot of things are not explained very well, and what is supposed to be menacing or terrifying just comes across as just weird and just laughably bad. I mean, I think the dog is the scariest part of the movie, maybe. But it's a movie that needs to be experienced. You're not gonna have as much fun when it comes to the bad movies as, say, something like Troll 2, to just watch it by itself, like without the MST riffing. But this is a movie that needs to be experienced by everybody, especially if you like the sort of drive-in grindhouse cult following movie experiences. This is something that needs to be experienced. We have a 2K restoration on here, a commentary, I think about 3 different featurettes, and they have the unrestored version on here, the grindhouse version of Manos the Hands of Fate. So super, super excited to check that one out. This is a DVD. It was $4. I do not have this in my collection. Again, it's one of those that I was very surprised that I didn't have in any format in my collection, and it's just one of those films that I just didn't, which is what a lot of the $3 pickups were as well. But this was a 4K DVD, like 10 book. So this was cool. And it's the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Look at this. This is really cool. I really, really like this. This is obviously, somebody definitely had this on their shelves, but the discs are pristine. They're brand new. They're all brand new. This is really, really cool. So, I mean, we have, I don't know if this is the very first high-def restoration of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the way that it's talking about it on here definitely makes it seem like it might be. This was put up by Dark Sky and Synapse. And so they have a high-def transfer from the 16mm camera originals, and then the disc 2 is just loaded down with documentaries, with they have gag reels, outtakes, deleted scenes, that sort of thing. So, and I know that the very first disc also has 2 different commentaries on it as well. So that's really cool. And now I have it because I don't have any of the sequels or the remakes, oddly enough. It's one of those when you sort of look at something, it's just like, how do I not have that? But for whatever reason, just never did. And it's one of my favorite movies. It's a lot of people's favorite movie because it's a fantastic film. So again, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in this very beautiful, beautiful tin book. Super cool. The next one was also $4. It was a DVD. This is the first R-rated DC film. This was the film that I was trying to think of the title for my Birds of Prey review. I know this is on Blu-ray as well, but I have no idea what the Blu-ray price is. And for $4, it was still factory sealed. The case looks like somebody might have sat on it at some point. It's a little dingy right there, but it's fine. That would be The Killing Joke. Really, really happy to have this. I can check this out. I'm a very big fan of the graphic novel, The Killing Joke, and I've heard good things about the animated film, so I'm excited to see how it holds up to the original graphic novel. So, super happy to check this one out. This one was for my oldest and for myself, yes, because I used to have the original VHS clamshell of this, and I found it on DVD for $4. This was, how old is this? 1996? That can't be right. That can't be right. That's the only thing that I'm saying on here, 1996, but I don't think that's right. But anyways, this is Scooby Doo and the Alien Invaders. Yes, Alien Invaders. I remember this one. I haven't seen this one, and is it Zombie Island? I think is the other one that I used to have. I haven't seen these in a very, very long time. So we have a lot of Scooby Doos. Whenever I find Scooby Doos for a good price at like a thrift or a Big Lots or something like that, I'll pick them up. Super excited to have this one. This next title that I picked up, this is one that I've wanted to have these in my collection. I've wanted to get these for a very long time, and finding this one in very good condition for about $6 was sort of the universe's answer to me, or the reason, the spark that I needed to kind of get this going. And this is the first season of Tales from the Crypt, the first 6 episodes with a bonus disc that has sort of a docu-series about the transition from comic book to television show, which is going to be really interesting. I'm actually very interested to check that out. So I have most of my memories of Tales from the Crypt come from the first season. These were the ones that as a kid had scared me because this is 1989, so they were still showing these as reruns to me. I was not born in 89, but these were the ones that I had seen just as reruns or in some other way. But it's a 2-disc set, and it's in fantastic condition. This is the one that I remember the most with his And All Through the Night, I believe. Yeah, And All Through the House. That's the one that I remember the most. So really, really happy to have these. And this was just the spark that I needed to get looking for the other ones. So super, super happy to have Tales from the Crypt Season 1 on DVD. These next 2, if I thought that was the universe answering to me or talking to me in some way, this was bizarre. Okay, so if you watch my channel and you watch YouTubers talking about physical media and collecting and movies and films and things like that, then you're probably watching one of there's sort of like a group of content creators that was an inspiration for me to kind of get behind a camera and just talk about what I like and talk about what I want to talk about, and that would be Serial at Midnight, Heath and Bree. And Heath, Papa Midnight, has graced us with this very informative series that he is doing on serials from the 1940s. And the very first one that he released was about Superman, the 1948 serial Superman. And that same day was that I watched that video, was when I went to 2nd and Charles, and lo and behold, factory sealed Superman, the exact same one, the 1948 serial collection, and also the 1950s serial of Atom Man versus Superman. Very, very happy to have this. I'm stoked to go into this because I was very excited for that series because I do have some knowledge of serials, mostly from late at night when I was a kid. I believe it was probably TV Land, because I've said before that I watched a lot of TV Land as a kid. I believe they had aired some older serials of like the Green Hornet and Dick Tracy, so a little bit of that is what I have some knowledge in, but I don't have a lot of knowledge in this in this Superman portrayal. So before all these fall out again, because it's the second time I'm filming this, so I was aware now. It can't give me this time little flyers. So 4-disc set, because we have 1948 Superman right here, 1950s Atom Man versus Superman. So that, I'm telling you, that was just absolutely bizarre to come across those. This one was the most that I paid. I paid $10 for this one. And is that a good price? I mean, considering that I didn't spend any money on it, it seemed like a great price to me, but I definitely wasn't going to not pick it up, especially since I had gained so much interest from watching Heath's video. So super, super, super excited to dive into this one. And then the next one, if I can get this back into the box. Here we go. Maybe. No? Okay, yes. Okay, so complete theatrical series collection. The next one is another serials collection, factory sealed for $7. It's 2 DVDs that are inside of this fantastic 10, and that would be Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe. I don't know the year on this one because Timeless Media Group, who put this out, did not feel that it was necessary to let me know. I mean, it says in 1940, but I don't know if it was Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe, if that was 1940. I'm not sure exactly which one, but they do have a bonus feature that is a 45-minute documentary all about Hollywood's golden age of serials. Flash Gordon, Superman, Captain Marvel, and many others match wits with forces of evil like the Sinister Scorpion, the Deadly Octopus, and Ming the Merciless in these thrilling and suspenseful exploits. So that's going to be really, really cool, besides going into all 12 episodes. So, like I said, it's 2 individual DVDs. I haven't opened these yet, but how cool is that? How cool is that? Super, super excited to check that out. And now we are on to the $3 portion. You've spent this much time hearing me jabber on about these purchases. Now we can get into the $3 purchases. So we're gonna start with the Pops, because they had $3 Pops. And they had, a lot of them were video game related ones from video games that I have absolutely no interest in, and ones that I'm ashamed to admit I feel old, but that I don't know. But they had 3 from Saga. As you can see, Prince Robot the 4th. So very cool, very, very cool. Super happy to check that out and grab this guy. Saga, I haven't finished Saga. I stopped at, I think, the 5th or the 6th trade. I would imagine that it's over now, that it is over. But Image is one of my favorite comic book publishers. Absolutely love Image, and Saga is a phenomenal series. I need to get back into it. I'll probably just go ahead and just start from the beginning again, because it has been a little bit since I read that last trade. So super excited. Now Prince Robot can go, oh, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. All right, so you can just kind of sit there. Awesome. The next one that I was able to pick up was The Will, the Bounty Hunter, the Mercenary. Very, very cool. Very nice one. They didn't have Lion Cat. Lion Cat would have been really cool to have alongside of him, because for $3, absolutely would have picked up Lion Cat with him. These were the only 3 from that particular, from Saga that they had. And the third one was Marco. I really, really like the way Marco's pop looks. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Happy to have these guys. Happy to proudly display them, because I like to display out of box. I have the boxes up there, not really for resale value, because a good bit of pops that I have, over the years, I've lost the boxes or probably thrown some of them away. But then now sort of trying to, get back into them, because I really do like pops, because I originally started when they first kind of came about, and then dropped off, but now it's not for the resale value, because I really don't have any desire to resell them. But if for storage, if I ever got to move them somewhere, I'd like to have something to easily put them back in and kind of keep them protected. So I've been keeping the boxes over now, but I like to display them out of box, because I have no desire to resell them. So if there happens to be a little scuff on one of Marco's horns, that's fine for me, because I'm not intending to resell them. But now I'm blathering on. So those were $3 each, and then now we have all these Blu-rays that I got for $3 each. Like I said, there's no deep cuts on here. There's no hard to find stuff, and none of that. And most of it's pretty common stuff, but it's all stuff that I haven't either seen, wanted for my daughter, or there's actually a couple of upgrades in here as well for me. Or just stuff that I haven't revisited in a very long time. And that's actually what's here on the first one, the director's cut of Spawn, Todd McFarlane's Spawn. This was the first time that Spawn was represented on the screen, I believe, because the animated series came after this, right? Am I right? I really can't remember, but I have very fond memories of watching Spawn much earlier than I was supposed to have. So I'm excited to check this out again and see if it does hold up, because I do have those fond memories watching Spawn. Even John Leguizamo has some good memories for here. So hopefully it's good. There's a bunch of special features in here, including a commentary with Todd McFarlane. So that will probably be very, very interesting. So super happy to check out Spawn again. This one was one, I never had any interest in watching this movie, but my wife really enjoys this movie. So for $3, I was definitely going to pick it up and then check it out for myself, and that would be Pacific Rim. I've never seen Pacific Rim, didn't really have a big interest in watching it. This is the 3D release. I don't do 3D, but this was the only thing they had for 3D, and plus it has this really nice lenticular slip. I actually hate these slips because the sound that it makes And the feeling when you scrape your fingernail along it sends chills into pockets of my spine that I didn't know were there, and I cannot stand it. But it's pretty. Oh, it's definitely pretty. The 3D disc and the actual Blu-ray disc that I would be watching, the standard Blu-ray disc, all perfect condition. All of these are in fantastic condition, especially for $3. This one is one that I have never seen. I haven't seen any of these films. I have not met or talked to anybody that does not like these movies, and I constantly see each of them dropping down in price, like little flash sales and stuff like that, and they do have a collection series of all three of them on Blu-ray, but I've just never pulled the trigger, with no pun intended, to what this is. But for $3, I can now check it out, and then probably will be a little bit quicker to grab when the other ones drop down in price, because I see them drop down to like $4.99 quite often, and that would be John Wick. Never seen John Wick. I've wanted to, but it just hasn't. It just wasn't in the cards at that time, and just other things were on my radar. So for $3, now I can check it out, and I'll be definitely more inclined to check out the sequels as well. Again, $3, absolutely. This one, this is the remake. I do not have the original anymore. It's one of the ones that I've lost over the years. I have the second one. I'm very interested in getting the 4K edition of the original, but I really enjoyed the remake. Obviously, it doesn't hold a candle to the original 3 films, but this was a fantastic reimagining of it, and that is the remake of Evil Dead. I really enjoyed this a lot. I like what they did. They kept to the heart of the original film, and they expanded upon it. They made it no longer just, college kids in a cabin. They gave a little bit more depth to the setting, to why they're there, and I really very much appreciated that. This was definitely made with love for the original, and I believe, did Sam Raimi have any hold in this as well? Yes, he does have producer credit, so definitely love this one. If you haven't seen the remake, definitely check it out, because it is very good. So that's that one. This is one that I remember watching in theaters whenever this came out, 2014. Yeah, 2000. Wow, it's been that long? No way. I guess it has. I'm old. I feel old. But I really enjoyed this film a lot, and that would be Gravity with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney very briefly. But Sandra Bullock is absolutely fantastic, but this was a gorgeous film to watch, and it showed that Sandra Bullock can really hold down the screen all by herself. This is a phenomenal movie. I really enjoyed this, and being able to experience it again, I'm very much excited for. This is another one. Me and my wife saw this in theaters. Have not seen the sequel, but now being able to revisit the first one, I'll be more inclined to pick up the sequel again, because I very much enjoyed it, because I'm all down for another Jurassic Park movie that is not Jurassic Park 3, and that was Jurassic World. I very much enjoyed it. This is a Canadian release. There was a lot of Canadian releases in the $3, sort of like what you see when you find at Dollar Trees. But yeah, just one, I enjoyed the film, but just never picked it up for one reason or another. And this is sort of, in these instances, when you pick stuff up like this for for thrifts, like, this is when waiting pays off. Because there are some films, like where how I budget, where I will pick up a one brand new release of a movie that I may not have seen it, but I really want to see it, because if for whatever reason I don't like it, I can make some of my money back. But yeah, so in this particular instance, though, waiting paid off for me for Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom, is that the second one? I'm not sure. This one I have no interest in watching, but I will have to watch. I picked this one up for my daughter. This was $3. Was factory sealed for $3. It seemed to me like she would enjoy it. It's got Doogie in it, so I'll at least kind of like that. But this is the Smurfs. I don't really have any interest in watching it. I'll have to watch it, and maybe I'll actually enjoy it. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't think I will enjoy it, but I could be wrong. So I think that she'll really enjoy this movie a lot. This one was also one, excuse me, for her. My wife has seen this movie, and she said that it's a very good movie, and that our daughter would enjoy it. And this is Blue Sky, I believe. I believe this is Blue Sky, and Blue Sky has a phenomenal track record with their films, and this is Rio. Never seen Rio as well. So excited to check this out as well. Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy, everything is fantastic condition. So I think that she'll really enjoy this, and then I will as well. My wife has very good things to say about it. And this one was a 4-disc, it's a 2-disc collection, but it's a no, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. It is a 4-disc collection. Okay, look at that. Okay, cool, even better. So I got 4 movies for $3 on here, still factory sealed. So this is actually replacing 2 DVD copies for me, giving me 1 movie that I did want, and another one that, I'll call this the freebie, and I'll take it for a freebie. This is the Warner Brothers 4 film favorites of Tim Burton. Beetlejuice, Corpse Bride, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and Sleepy Hollow. This is replacing my DVD copy of Beetlejuice and Corpse Bride, giving me Sleepy Hollow, and giving me Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I remember, as I said before, I'm not that old, so I remember seeing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in theaters, because that was definitely when I was very engrossed in Tim Burton's discography, not discography, his filmography. I apologize. His look, everything like that. So very much, it was a brand new novelty for me. I'm very much engrossed in it, and I'm still a big fan. But so I have good memories of the film, but I've seen it, quite a few times since, and it has not held up for me. Even before seeing this one in theaters, and I had seen the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory as a kid, so that will always be my Willy Wonka movie. But this one's fine, so definitely could show this to our oldest, and give me another chance to watch it. Maybe my opinion has changed. As it changed once, it can change again. So for this, factory seal for $3, absolutely. And guys, that is everything that I've got today on this massive haul collection update sort of thing. Thank you so very much for sitting through this. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did like this video, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for more additional content. There are haul videos, reviews, getting into unboxing, stuff like that. A lot more stuff to come. Social media links and contact information are in the description box. Please leave a comment below if you just want to say hi. I'll say hi. Or if you have anything to say about any of these films that I picked up today. So guys, again, thank you so very much for sitting down and listening to me talk today. And I will catch you on the very next video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.